Welcome to the greenhouse. We built a little greenhouse here and I'm going to give you a tour of it because it is in full function right now. But before I'm going to show you what it looks like now, let's rewind back and I'm going to show you what it looked like when we first started working on it. Spring is coming. Welcome to the greenhouse. I'm going to step out. Can't see anything. But yeah, we've been working on this area and these little rooms. 2 out of 3 are cleaned out. Now we're cleaning out this. Taking all the broken roof tiles out of there and evening out the floor, kind of leveling it out, and yeah, taking all the rubble out. So we can put a table here, put like a roof over here. We put in windows that we can actually open.
Possibly.
Yeah, there we go. So we can air out the greenhouse. And then this could be a little space where I can start my seedlings and put seeds into trays. And hopefully this will be a bit warmer. Yeah.
So all we have to do now, we have our beams up in place, as you can see. We need to get some greenhouse plastic that we're going to put over the top.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put some pavers in. But right now, Yvonne's working on getting all this rubble out. We've been working on it for about an hour, a little bit more than an hour maybe. And getting close to the end, so we thought, hey, let's do a video about it to show you the greenhouse build.
What we're working on.
The next step is putting these pavers in. We bought them a while ago for a different project and decided not to use them in that area, so we had them laying around, and we're going to put them down here with rocks in between for drainage, so we'll be able to stand on the pavers and the rocks will be in between. This is the pattern that we've decided. It might not be perfect, but for what we're doing, I think it's going to look okay. 2 long lines on the side and then these in the center with about 7 to 8 centimeters on each side. We're going to measure it out, but it probably won't be perfect. But it'll be good for what we're doing. And this is coming along. We just got to wait for the tarp, the plastic, to show up because it's on the way.
Whew. Heavy stones. But we figured out a pattern. It took some math and a bit of a discussion, but I think this is going to be the pattern we're ending up with. Now, yeah, we gotta drag them in and even things out as we go. And then, yeah, we'll have a floor here in the greenhouse.
Here we go. We got the last pavers in, the last 2. Yvonne's putting the last 2 in. This will be our little path. And, yeah. Trying to level it enough so that it's comfortable to walk in. And in the gaps here, we'll put stones to help with drainage so that when we walk in here, there's not so much mud. And on this side, we'll put a nice table so that Yvonne can do all her potting. And we have the windows up there, like we said previously, and we're waiting for the plastic that will go over the top. And then this will be the greenhouse as of this year and this iteration. Maybe in the future.
Greenhouse version 1.
Yeah, greenhouse version 1. Everything's a work in progress, but I think this will work for the first year. Possibly longer, depending on if we like it or if we make some design tweaks. But right now, we're almost there. Just the last 2. One on that wall, one on that wall, and Yvonne's finishing up this one.
All the tiles are in, and we put the stones around the tiles so it looks better and less weeds will come up, hopefully. And yeah, and the floor here is ready now. We figured out the pattern eventually, and all the steps are right in front of the doors. And we think it looks pretty good. We're happy with it.
This is the top view, and as you can see, we have our 3 beams that are running. There's one on the far side, 1, 2, 3. However, there's 3 beams running across that will kind of make up the support. But I also need a beam that runs, I guess, horizontally from beam to beam so that the plastic has something to kind of attach to. So that's what I'm going to be putting in, a beam that comes kind of this way and allows the plastic to connect. Also here at this point, there's nothing really to connect to, so the plastic would just be kind of hanging down. So I need to create some kind of little beam that runs this way so that the plastic can sit on it. So that's what I'm going to be working on. As you can see, I have the beams in place. It's a little wonky on that side, but that's okay because we have a ledge, which is the roof, so the water actually drips pretty far out. So it just needs to be secured, and it's because these beams, as you can see, are not at the same height. Whoever built this and put those original holes in didn't level it properly. So I got my 3 beams in. I got a ridge board along the back so I can keep the plastic on the back and then bring it all the way to the front. Once it's on, I'll decide if I need to cut these a little shorter or not, because this one over here is sticking out a little bit, as you can see, compared to the one at the far end. But I'll put the plastic on first to see how it looks. It's a nice day and our plastic has arrived. So that means I can start doing the greenhouse and finish it up. So I'm going to work on that because the last thing that we really needed for this greenhouse build was the main tarp, which has arrived. So I'm going to get started on that so that we can show you what this final build looks like. And yeah, you can see what we've been up to recently.
Now you've seen all the work that we've done and what we changed and how we organized things. Let's take a look at the current state. It's going to be a short tour because, yeah, it's a small room and small space, but I am really happy with it because here I have a really nice working table that is now more of a station where all the plants and all the seedlings are stored. Here we have a tray with lots of tomatoes. These tomatoes are an entire story. Yeah, have their own little story because I didn't grow them from seed, but we found them on the land somewhere. Here we have some chard starting to sprout. Here I put some chocolate peppers, and then here we have lettuce. This is like lettuce, and this is arugula. That is, yeah, doing well. Here we have more trays with all kinds of things. We have some beets, some tomatoes, a pepper plant that we got at the market, some spinach that we got at the market, and we have some more tomatoes sprouting. And here we have more tomatoes. So we're gonna have some beets, and we're gonna have a lot of tomatoes this season. This table we built with materials that we found in this storage in this building here, and that we just found in random places on the land and that were still in a good enough condition. So Miguel built me a really nice table. Here we have windows that you can actually open that we found in our attic and that were, well, not in such a good condition that we could reuse them in the house, but they work really well for the greenhouse. Here we're storing some sticks from our olive trees that we pruned, which we're going to use in the yard for stakes. And here's our nice floor. I'm really happy with it. It's keeping a lot of the weeds down, and it's pretty dry. And I'm happy with the pattern. I think we did a really good job with that. And then we have 3 little rooms. Let's start with the back one here. This is a dark room that we are currently using to store some of the wood. As you can see, that we might be able to reuse. And if you saw a previous video, here's that big antenna that was on top of the roof that we took out. It's a piece of metal that we might be able to use for something. So this is kind of like a room for, that's a kind of a storage room for all kinds of random things. This space, we haven't really decided yet on how to use it, but it's nice because it actually has a concrete floor, which means it will be a bit drier. And yeah, we might store some of the gardening tools here, some of the soil, other things. And then the final room is our wood storage room. Here are a lot of twigs that were already here, and we added some more twigs from the grapevines. And in the back, sticks from pruning. We pruned a few trees that we put in there. Well, yeah, the leftover, the cuts, and other pieces of wood that we can't really use anymore to build with, but that are too good just to toss. Finally, we have the roof, which we also built with repurposed materials. Beams that we had, some other pieces of wood that we use to build a frame with, so the roof is actually a little bit on a slant, and the water can just drain downwards. And it's holding up. We had a few rainstorms and there is no water staying on the plastic anymore. First time that did happen. But then Miguel did some engineering. He worked on it, and now it's working really well. This is the little greenhouse that we built. I'm very happy with it, and I think it will function really well for the first 2 years. If you want to see how we're gonna put these into the ground, if you haven't seen that video yet, you can watch it over here. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in the next video.